Welcome to the Sykes Company PA video blog featuring Ollin Sykes.
What's a worst case scenario that you've seen with someone trying to do a startup?
Well, we've got some situations right now, actually, where the business is not as robust as what was projected by the owners. The losses continue because you have a certain level of cost, whether you're adjudicating 25 scripts a day or 75 or 100 scripts a day. And until you get to about 150 scripts a day plus, you probably are not going to be profitable if you're just filling scripts. Now, if you're into long-term care, if you're doing 340B, if you're into other areas, obviously that would be somewhat different. But if you're under 150 scripts a day, you're most likely dropping money. You're using cash, and cash is king in pharmacy. And you need to get to break even and a positive cash flow as quickly as possible, which means you need to be doing everything you can to accelerate the marketing, the prescribers, knowing that you're going to be in that marketplace, the right location with the right drive-up window. And I tell you, I just see so many pharmacies trying to start up without a drive-up window, which I think is a dire mistake in today's environment. Those are the kinds of things that need to be well thought out, and you need help in this particular area. And even though you may be known in that community, you may be from that community, that doesn't necessarily mean automatic success. And we sometimes see that thought process from the pharmacists thinking they're going to be an automatic success because they grew up in that community, they know everybody in the community. It doesn't necessarily mean that your pharmacy will be a success in the first 6 months to a year that you're in operation.
What are the top mistakes that you see when someone's setting up a startup?
Trying to handle things themselves that they don't know what they're doing, they have no experience over. Whether it's the accounting, in my instant case, is typically where they're buying QuickBooks. They're thinking they can be the accountant, the pharmacist, the business manager all in one. You don't need to be doing that. You've got to have accurate information. That's something that needs to be outsourced from day one. You do not need a bookkeeper in today's virtual world where that information can be handled by industry-specific experts in the industry, that they are like what our firm does. Sometimes getting involved with legal counsel that has not a clue what a pharmacy is or does, and slowness with respect to getting all the permits and processes in place. And probably the number one issue we see in the startup situation is you maybe have been working with an independent or a big box retailer, and you're trying to handle all your contracting, your third-party reimbursement contracts, and you don't really know who to turn to, where to go, how to do that. You might know bits and pieces of it, but again, I've seen pharmacies open up and they were unable to process maybe one half of their customer base that was coming in because they had not yet had approvals. And you may only get one chance at new customers walking in your store. And for sure, on day one, when you open that pharmacy, you need to make sure that you can adjudicate any and all claims that you hope to ever adjudicate through that pharmacy.
Now, I know we've talked about how having a clear view of your finances is crucial for any pharmacy, but it sounds like with the amount of loan money that a new startup pharmacy might start with, that it's more crucial than ever.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to keep your accounting in real time. And that's not just a matter of recording receipts and disbursements. That's taking inventory in consideration, keep a perpetual inventory, adjusting that at month end, making sure you got a third-party reconciliation service in place so you can pull down exactly what's owed to you at month end, making sure your payables and notes are all tied in and bank account information is tied in on a daily basis. These are all virtual items that can be handled through the cloud, through the various tools. But again, frankly, as a pharmacist, you don't need to be performing these tasks that I just mentioned. It's outside the scope of what you know how to do. Yeah, you can make a deposit. Yeah, you can write a check. But that's not an accounting system. The other mistake that I would probably see is that a startup pharmacy is talking to a local bank or a community bank who knows nothing about pharmacy, who knows nothing about how this process works. And then they are trying to do maybe a collateral-based loan versus a cash flow loan, which is what the pharmacy niche experts are doing in the industry. And that can be a humongous mistake. And sometimes that's led through relationships you may have in the community, but don't make that mistake. Talk to the industry experts that are out there in the field.
Thank you for joining us today. If you want more information or have any questions, please feel free to contact Ollin directly.